Welcome to the Microbiology Unit at Central Medical Laboratory. Here we have Ms. Justina Schall, the supervisor of the Microbiology Unit. She's a Medical Technologist 1. Ms. Almira Truck, a Medical Technologist at the Microbiology Unit. Ms. Elizabeth Keme Palacio, also a Medical Laboratory Technologist at Microbiology Unit. Mrs. Helen Flowers, a microbiologist at the Microbiology Unit. She's a Medical Technologist. Mr. Erin Walford, Medical Technologist at Microbiology Unit. We have Ms. Judy Sanchez, Medical Technologist at the Microbiology Unit. And myself, Ms. Rena Usher Erdones, also a Medical Technologist at the Microbiology Unit. I will be giving you guys a tour of what we do at Microbiology. We're in the Urinalysis and the Parasitology Unit at Microbiology. Mr. Walford is processing a urine specimen for urinalysis. After the urine strip is analyzed, Mr. Walford will check if everything is okay, after which he will spin it on the centrifuge and then he will read the sediment under the microscope. And same with the stool samples that we get. When we receive it, we process it and spin it with the centrifuge and read the sediment under the microscope. Here we have Ms. Flowers, one of the veterans in Microbiology Unit. She is processing the sputum specimens for the AFB, and she'll also show us how she does the gene expert. So right now she's going to put some of the sample from the sputum onto a slide, which she will leave to dry and then stain with the acid fast stain. The Zeal-Nielsen acid fast stain. And this is for the solution for the gene expert. As with all our samples, she's making sure that it's properly labeled. Here we have Ms. Flowers processing the gene expert. She's putting the cartridge into the gene expert machine, but she has to scan it. Once it is recognized, she can place it in, and the cartridge comes with its own quality control. This is the influenza section, which is also a part of the microbiology unit. Here we use the immunofluorescence microscope to check for the presence of influenza A, influenza B, para-influenza 1, 2, and 3, respiratory syncytial virus, and the adenomyosis virus. And here we have Ms. Flowers. This has to be read in the dark in order for her to see the illumination of the virus. The virus usually illuminates green if it is present in the sample. If we get a positive, then the sample is then referred to the PCR department for subtyping. Here we have Miss Sanchez. She's working in our media room at the moment. Here's where we make our agars and our broths that we use to grow our bacteria. We have the powder, which we have to dissolve in distilled water, and then we put it on the hot plate and stir it so it stirs and get heated and cooked, after which we put it in the autoclave for sterilization. After sterilization, we allowed our media to cool, and then we pour it off into their respective plate. Here we have blood chocolate biplates and Muller-Hinton whole plates. We use the Muller-Hinton whole plates. We can use it for doing antibiotics and for isolation. Here we have a lot of the different type of broths that we use, media that we use. In the bacteriology section, we have Miss Keme checking the samples that came from the logging area. We usually check the samples to ensure that the information on it matches the information in our BHIS system. She's currently dealing with a blood hemoculture. So she has to vent it and sterilize the top, and then vent it with the needle. She will then incubate this, and then tomorrow they will do our first culture on that, because the blood cultures take 7 days. So we do about 3 different cultures on a blood hemoculture in order to ensure that there was no growth within that time. We deal with all different type of samples here at bacteriology. We deal with swabs, urine, catheter tips, other body fluids, vaginal swabs, anything you could think about, we culture it here. After we culture the samples, we have to incubate them, and then we read them after 18 to 24 hours. Here we have Miss Chuck doing our morning checks. So we usually have to have our media plates that we plated the sample on, and she would read it and put the information down on our result sheet. If it has significant growth, she would then replate it and try to get isolation. There it looks like we have a suspected pseudo due to its sweet odor and the green pigment. We have so many different types of agar plates, like the blood, the chocolate, the McConkey, the Muller-Hinton. We all use this based on the type of sample that you're processing. If we have the significant growth of a certain suspected organism, we would then isolate it, and after isolation we would put it on one of the combos, or for us to read on the microscan. So here we have a gram positive combo and a gram negative. We would then read it on our microscan machine, and that would tell us the type of organism that is growing and the antibiotics, if the antibiotics is susceptible or resistant to that specific organisms. In the microbiology unit, we are the only, in microbiology, we boast of being #1 in the Caribbean for the year 2019 for the antimicrobial susceptibility proficiency testing. A lot of people may not know that because it was not highlighted, but that is just a way to show that what we do here is with the best quality possible. I believe that microbiology unit is one of the most versatile departments in the Central Medical Laboratory. We are the only fully functional microbiology units in the country. Currently, we are trying to decentralize the microbiology units across the country to our district labs. So we have started them off by doing AFB testing and urine cultures. which they send to us for quality control checks. Quality control is very, very important to us. Hence the reason we always try to do quality control on all our tests that we provide here at the unit. With all the work that we have to do here, we still find the time to train interns from the University of Belize and other medical technologists from out district to get them up to date. We have this, our teaching microscope, that we use to help us show our students what we are seeing under the microscope, so it can help them to be better at reading under the microscope. In the laboratory, we all play an important role. We are well qualified and trained. We attend internal, regional, and international trainings to keep up to date with the changings and developments that occur in the medical field. In microbiology, we take part in proficiency testings twice a year to ensure that the quality of our results is the best. We also take part in the national surveillance by providing accurate data of the organisms that we isolate here in Belize and the antibiotic susceptibility patterns that are occurring.
And that's it for microbiology.